Benvenuti, grazie per essere qui questa mattina. Io mi presento, sono Alina Nistor e sono la Community Manager di XFactory. XFactory è una nuova associazione culturale che è nata con lo scopo di creare un polo culturale e creativo delle agenzie digitali nelle Marche, inizialmente a livello regionale, poi speriamo nazionale e internazionale. E come obiettivi ci saranno molti eventi organizzati, ci sarà uno spazio di coworking che sarà sempre qua, è sponsorizzato da X-Place e questo DigiCINA è il nostro primo evento, quindi benvenuti e grazie per essere qua.
Oggi Kun ci presenterà un po' rispetto a questi tre temi che state vedendo, degli highlights del mercato digitale cinese. Un mercato con grandissime opportunità, poi vedrete nelle slide, con grandissime particolarità, perché veramente di 100 cose che noi qua facciamo 98 sono differenti, quindi molto complesso da capire, e per questo noi abbiamo proprio fatto la scelta di appoggiarci alla sua agenzia, che sarà la nostra filiale cinese per tutte le attività in questo paese. Quindi questa mattina in queste 2 ore assieme cercheremo un po' di capire tutte queste opportunità, quali sono, come possono essere gestite assieme, e se foste interessati poi sia nel pomeriggio sia più avanti ci possiamo risentire per vedere di fare qualcosa assieme. Kun ovviamente parlerà in inglese, ci sono 2 ragazze, Laura e Giorgia, che nel caso ne avesse necessità possono intervenire nella traduzione o per le domande, insomma, possono essere loro a darvi una mano nella traduzione. Poi abbiamo una ragazza qua cinese, credo, giusto? Quindi nell'eventualità abbiamo anche quello. Ok, Kun, it's up to you.
All right, thank you. Okay, thank you for coming. My name is Kun. I'm from China, and I'm representing Jademond Digital, which is a digital agency I founded 5 years ago. And currently, we have 2 offices in China. The operation team is based in South China in Guangzhou, and we have a sales office in Shanghai. Currently, we are doing Chinese social media, and of course, search engine marketing. And we are also helping 3 clients to expand their e-commerce on JD and Tmall. So today's presentation will mostly cover the 3 areas we are doing. And of course, it will be purely disclosing what's the market look like, instead of just promoting ourselves. So yeah, these are the 5 top social media I'm going to cover for today. 3 of them are picked up because they have a huge user base, including the first 3. We have Weibo, QQ, Zone, and WeChat. And now we also have another 2, slightly, actually much smaller in user base. But the reason I put it up here is mainly they are very unique. For example, like Zhihu, which is the Chinese Quora. So it could be a very good channel for people to get a professional suggestion, particularly for B2B companies, if they are looking for a good suggestion in one particular area. And for Douban, which is more focused on movies, books, music, events. So just in case some of you might be have business in those areas, then we should also consider Douban as well. Let me start with WeChat. Probably this is the most popular top subjects. Any international company want to expand in China, they always ask, oh, can you do WeChat? So WeChat actually is more than a social media. Of course, it's a social media, but also it payments. It also provides live service. And also it provides more like a operating system, if you can call them this way, because of the mini program they are introducing since 2017. I'll cover them one by one. So just a brief glance. Not sure, can you see it clearly? Yes, great. So first, the market share they have for China social media is 26%. Actually, this is growing because of the number that they're getting. Second, the WeChat user is spending a lot on WeChat. Annually, they're spending $15 billion. Okay, the other numbers might be more interesting to you. First, it has nearly 1 billion monthly active users. That, of course, cannot compare to Facebook, but considering most of the WeChat users are based in China, speak Chinese, so this number is already very, very good. And for company, they set up what we call the official account. So any company, if they want to getting presence on WeChat, they need to set up what they call official account. So far we got more than 500,000 companies already set up their official accounts. And out of these official accounts, they're producing 700,000 articles, more like a blog post, every day. Besides those, we also have what we call the WeChat red envelopes, which is people to give away small amount of money. So during the 2016 Chinese New Year, 8 billion WeChat red envelope has been given away, not by WeChat, but by the WeChat user. Usually, the parents give away 100, 200 to the children, just to celebrate the New Year. And of course, the boyfriend giving girlfriend something just to spend during the festival, of course. And the last part is the WeChat payment is adopted by the offline shop. You see the last small box on the corner, on the right bottom corner, it says 200,000 business accept WeChat payment offline. All right, so WeChat obviously is covering more than social media. It do a lot of other things. You see, WeChat is trying to do hardware. It's trying to help the agriculture. It also trying to do finance, helping people to manage their money they received from their parents to do a small investment, make sure they get a higher interest rate than putting in the bank. And of course, it connected with the e-commerce. JD had the access on WeChat, and also what they call the Weidian, which means small entrepreneur, they can set up a WeChat store. And of course, we also have the WeChat Live, which is for people to pay their water bill, electricity bill, or broadband bill instead of going to the offline shop, taking, I don't know, hours, so they can just do it with their phone. Besides that, they also, you can get a taxi appointment and getting a movie tickets. Yeah, a lot of other things has been going on. So it's more than a social media. So the user base is huge, of course, we mentioned already. So you probably want to know, okay, 1 billion people, great. Do they go there every day? Yes, nearly. 94% of the users log in WeChat every day, out of this 1 billion. And half of them use WeChat for more than 1 hour per day. And 40% of the WeChat users use WeChat in their workspace, meaning communicating with colleagues, sharing files to customer, and even some of them use WeChat to manage the project management. Of course, that's more like upgraded version of WeChat. It's called enterprise account. All right, so here is the user base growth history. Starting from 2011, from a very small minimum number of 3 million, now they're getting nearly 1 billion in 6 years. So this is basically the time they spend on WeChat. And you can see people, 61% of WeChat users use WeChat more than 10 times per day. I'm not saying I'm a heavy user of WeChat, but still, the first thing I do when I wake up, I just check anybody leave me a message. And on my way to work, I check my WeChat moment. Basically, want to know your friends' updates. During the lunchtime or breakfast, I use WeChat to pay my small amount of money for the breakfast. So before the day is off, I probably book a taxi or book a movie tickets, whatever it is for the weekend. So anyway, 10 times it's average, I would say. For me, I'm still a less heavy user compared to the teenagers or younger guys. So minutes. What's the hour look like? You can see 32% of users use WeChat longer than 2 hours every day. It's very high user stickiness. Okay, social. Average user, let's say 28% of the user has more than 200 WeChat friends. For me, I have more because I'm into the business. I have more than 500. I'm not sure, maybe some of them just blocked me without not seeing my updates because I sometimes spam too much. But average 200, that's the number. Okay, second thing is 61% of users check them WeChat moments, and the popular content is the live content. So whether instead of commercial content, they prefer to see their friends' personal updates. And the last is the picture and the video are more popular than articles. I'm coming to them one by one. So you see, this is the breakdown of the users' number of friends. So half of the user has more than 100 friends. And what do they do there? Browsing friends' moments, sharing information, following company pages. I don't know what in Italy people do. Obviously, you have your Facebook company page. People follow the company page out of love. Same thing on WeChat in China. People follow the company accounts probably out of love, but more importantly, they want to get promotional information. Is there any discount? Is there any promotional going on? Can I get a coupon? So these are the more important thing, the reason they follow the company page. So as a company account, how do you get people's attention, or how do you get a better engagement with the user? we need to understand what interests WeChat user. Obviously, images, text, plus text, or even video are more popular. Don't just put a link, okay, here is the article, please click on it. No, that's not working. That's the article means. It's just a shared article with a link. That's not working that well. So payment. People use WeChat to pay, but it's not so much high amount. Usually 100, 200 basically cover your basic and daily needs. So people use it because just it's faster, it's more convenient. So because of the amount, it's 100 to 200 RMB. So people tend to use it for booking a taxi and recharge their phone, mobile phone. So that's more common use for WeChat payments. All right, so this is a more breakdown about how much they spend on WeChat payment. And where they spend their payments. So we have a DD taxi, which is like a Uber in Europe. Please pay attention to the blue bar means the awareness. So people know, whether people know about them. And the white bar is the actual usage. So it's like if you ask a WeChat user, how many of you do you know DD Taxi? More than 50% of them they say yes, we know. And do you use it? Yeah, nearly 30% of them say yes, we use it. So you can see the payment is very widely used, and people not used it for just to try, but actually people use it for different purposes. That's definitely a convenient way for people to have an easier life. For me, I still carry my wallet, but just a day or two I forgot my wallet at home. I can definitely survive the day. Yeah, no problem at all. So I was kind of worried when I'm in Italy that if I lost my wallet, that would definitely kill me. All right, that's the payment. Okay, how people, the attitude of people about WeChat payment. If you have an option, more than 50% of them said, I would like to use WeChat Pay instead of using credit card or cash. Okay, company account. The average user of WeChat, they follow 6 to 15 company accounts. I don't know about Italy, but 6 to 15, that's quite a lot of number, I would say. For me, I won't follow that many company page. But that's the research shows. So if you want to penetrate the market on social, then having a WeChat official accounts, that's definitely the first step you should do. And the reason they're following them is they want to get information, and of course some of them might be just to read news. So these are the actual number about how many people actually following how many company accounts. That's more detailed breakdown. And the reason to follow them is to get promotional information on company accounts. Life service mainly refers to pay the water bill, electricity bill, broadband, and That's actually people tend to use it for that purpose. Phone bill, movie tickets, entertainments, etc. And yeah, people also try to get coupons or get a lottery or sports tickets, charity sometimes. Okay, corporate. So when company come to China, like I said, the first thing they should do is set up a company account. So how to set it up? It's not like Facebook or Google, you just set it up. There were actually two different ways to do it. You can register with individual identity. It has, okay, first, Italian personal identity doesn't work. You need probably get a Chinese citizen, use his ID card to set it up, a company account. But that's easier way, but definitely it's not the best way. Obviously, you don't want your company page is handled by some individual, right? And not to mention, it's a very limited account. You cannot do advertising. You cannot do e-commerce. You cannot receive payment if you somehow have an e-commerce function on the WeChat. You cannot receive payment basically because you don't have bank account attached to it. So the better way to do it is to set up the account with your business entity. Then again, business entity, it has to be Chinese or China company. Then that could be an issue for Italian company who has no China branch yet. But anyway, you can see 72% of the official account is registered through business entity instead of individual. And out of this, 20% of these official accounts are service account. Okay, this requires a little bit more explanation. There are basically two kinds of accounts. There's what they call official account. Official account is just one-way broadcasting. You basically tell them, okay, we have a new products coming out. We have events happening. It's not engaging. Of course, people can reply to you, but if someone has a problem, they want an immediate answer. Say if I'm Air China, the airline company, and I had a very bad experience, I want to complain. I can't do that with the official account. So that's why big company, they tend to set up two accounts. One is for just PR, and the other one is for customer service. So you can have an immediate reply through this service accounts. And not to mention service accounts, you can do a lot of other things. Like I mentioned, you can having the e-commerce function. You can even use a developer to add customized function onto it. All right, then different industries are setting up their company account. And interestingly, the research shows that a manufacturing company is very aggressive on WeChat, setting up their company accounts. And of course, once they set it up, they need to manage it. So they need to allocate human resource and financial resource by promoting it. Yeah, this is a more breakdown. You see, company use their business entity to set it up, 72%. Well, still 27% use personal ID to set business company account. And what they can do there, of course, we can just do PR release. Then we can manage a marketing campaign. Say you're hosting a seasonal promotion, or you are having a conference, or you have a lucky draw, whatever. This can be managed through the company account. And also you can interact with the customer, setting up an e-commerce platform, etc. All right, so we have everything ready. We have the account there. We have the people managing it. But we are still looking for a visitor. So the best or easy way to generate the visitor is through WeChat ads. So yeah, basically WeChat ads are used to promote the brand. It can be used to promote the account itself, the company account itself, or it can be used to promote if you somehow have a application, which is you want more people to download it on your mobile phone and install it, then that also can be applicable. Or you can promote the WeChat coupon you're promoting. So there are two kinds of ads here. One is called WeChat Moments ads. This is quite similar to Facebook's. The ads is mixed along with your friends' updates. So definitely this kind of ads is more contextual, because they already choose the specific demographics, your user behavior, and also your friends' demographics. So the ads itself will be quite similar to what your preference is. So yeah, in this case, the Moments ads is like that. And of course, it's very engaging if you want people to click on it. So it has to be whether things like, okay, you like it, like us, or following us to get a what. So that's kind of ads, engaging ads. And they charge by whether by cost per click or cost per millennium. And the other kind is what they call, it's mostly, they call it an official account ads, but if we use a universal language, it's display ad. So it will be appearing on the bottom of the popular post. So just like a banner ads, but only at the bottom. And the Moments ads is actually has more detailed you can play with. For example, if you have an offline store, you can set up a location, only target people around you, 3 kilometers or to 5 kilometers. So these ads can be target a certain geographic area. And like this, which I show, it's a bakery. They can definitely target the people around that particular area. You can do the promotion itself, and also you can have video advertising or content advertising. Okay. Then this is a display ad, like I said, it's at the bottom. So it's less relevant compared to the moment ads, because it is a little bit difficult to have a dynamic ads appearing on different time, different persons' momentum. But because when they started these ads, display it somehow requires a smaller one-time fixed fee, so it still gets some advertiser. But now, since there's no fixed fee, before when they launched the ads, they were asking a 250,000 RMB monthly minimum fee budget. So that's somehow just to cut people out. But now it's all self-service. You can definitely do that by yourself and also choose flexible budget to manage it. All right. Like I said, if your company account is not a verified account, meaning you don't have a China entity, so you use some Chinese citizen ID to set it up, there's no way you can do advertising because just you cannot do it. Then how do you get traffic or visitor? Fortunately, we can do what we call KOL, so basically influencer marketing. So what we can do is we can identify some popular account and asking them if they can repost our article or just promote our account or promote our campaign. Then the next question is, oh, KOL, that sounds something you cannot, difficult to manage. Probably you have seen this on Instagram or Facebook. Someone said, oh, we have 1 million followers, but actually maybe out of this 1 million, only 1% are real users. So there's a lot of unpredictable or the numbers can be a fraud. So how to identify them and find the real one and most importantly, cost-effective one. So you see there's definitely a lot of what we call the major KOL with millions of followers. Like this lady called Zhang Dayi, she has 5.3 million followers on WeChat. Oh, sorry, this is on Weibo. But anyway, the other person who just sold 10,000 Mini Cooper by promoting Mini Cooper's ads. So these are very expensive KOL, and they are asking sometimes 6 figures to just repost your article. That's probably insane. You feel like, how could I do that without understanding if you can meet a certain number of sales? But sometimes they can, okay, if you don't want to pay one-off such amount of money, let's do revenue sharing. They can do this too. So said, one of my clients, they are more into the baby care products. So we try to identify a group of popular KOL, mostly mothers. And one of KOL was saying, okay, if you don't want to pay that much, why don't we do a group buying on my account? So we are going to do, I have 500,000 users, so I probably can help you get 10,000 orders just in a week. But you can imagine, I'm asking 10% for whatever this 10,000 orders you sold. So that's another way to cooperate, but still probably for you guys it's too much. Can we find some more cost-effective way to do it? Yes, we can try to find KOL with smaller numbers, like followers with followers less than 10,000. And for this kind of KOL, they're still growing. They don't ask too much. Sometimes they agree to do, I'm not saying free, basically they don't charge, but they were asking, oh, can you give me some of your products? That kind of cooperation, that also works. But you can imagine this takes a lot of time to identify those KOL, negotiate with them, and that's really time consuming. Not to mention different industry, you need to take different KOLs as well. So how to evaluate them? Of course, we need to look into how many impressions they have, which means usually generated by the number of followers they have. Again, followers can be faked, so we need to check the repost. Is there any retweets number? What's the comments number, average comments of their historical articles, the likes. So anyway, all of these different other metrics that will really help you to understand, is this a real KOL? Can they be trusted? Okay, mini program. It sounds weird a name. Initially, they tried to call them mini app, like a app store's app. So since it's an app there, so Apple doesn't like it. So basically, Apple said, I want to sue you. So at the end, they changed the name to mini program. The reason Apple wants to sue them because they're like an app store. Their business model is like an app store. So they encourage people, instead of develop app and put on the app store and promoting the app and asking people to download it and install it, they just put it on WeChat mini program. So the difference is App Store's app. First, it's not that convenient to use. How many apps do you have on your mobile phone? 20, 30, 50 maximum, right? Why don't you have 100? Because you don't play with all of them. So you keep only the most commonly used app. And not to mention, once you get it, you need to install it, you need to set up with your personal info, your account, your password, you need to combine it with your mobile phone number. So this is it's too much probably. That's why you don't keep so many apps there. So WeChat mini program is different. You don't need to download. You don't need to install. All you need to do is just search for it on WeChat search. And if you find it, you click on it, no installation, no downloading, you can use it already. I'm just giving you the example of Mobike, which is the sharing bike. Have you heard about it? No? All right. So, Uber, which is shared taxi or shared vehicle. So in China, we have Mobike. Actually, it's one of the many shared bike business. So obviously, they distribute a lot of bike in the streets in the major cities. But you need an application to scan the barcode to unlock the bike. Then you can ride. Once you finish your journey, you lock it, then the payment will be deducted from your app. Well, seems okay. What's the problem? Why do you want to dump the app and jump into mini program? Because the app is first, people don't feel like, I don't want to keep so many apps, like I said. I don't want to put too much information there. I don't want to attach my bank card to another application. If everything can be done within WeChat, that's much convenient. I don't need to register because I can just combine it with my WeChat ID. I don't need to put my bank card again because I can pay with the WeChat Pay. Most importantly, I don't need to download and install. So that's what happened. The number one most popular WeChat mini program is Mobike app. So people use it, just scan the bike and ride it away, and 15 minutes you lock it. 1 yuan is deducted from your WeChat Pay. Done. Not to mention, it's also connected with the Mobile's company account. So if they're trying to do a promotion, they can just give away free riding for a month. So there can be generated more WeChat user to become Mobile's customer. So this mini program just launched earlier this year, January the 8th. And they already, we don't have the actual number, we only have the percentage here because WeChat doesn't disclose the actual number. But you can see the number has been growing very aggressively. And because it doesn't require you to download and install, it's very easily for people to use much more mini program than you have app on your mobile phone. So because of this flexibility and also the heavy investment WeChat has been putting on WeChat program, mini program, I would suggest if company, after they already gone through the first stage, setting up the company account, the next stage might be set up your mini program. Because a mini program, like I said, is very easy to use. And for company, they don't need a developer. Because if you want to have an application, you need to probably, 5 to 10 tech guys to do that. And maybe another 5 to 10 guys to promote it. Promoting application is quite expensive. But for mini program, you don't need a tech guy. Probably one junior developer, just to make sure the code is aligned with the protocol that WeChat has been announced. Then you can have a mini program very quickly. Within a week, you can set it up. And you can promote your mini program through WeChat ads very quickly. And because of mini program, you can get a customer, and once you have the customer, you want to track their behavior. So how do you track their behavior? You can use WeChat's card and offer system. So the card system is mostly more like a membership. So every paid customer, you can just add more tags into it. It's what kind of person this is, his personal interest, preference, heavy user, medium user, etc. So you can, based on the different tags or behavior, you can do more customized promotion, say 20% discount, or just a loyalty program to encourage you to spend more. This is very good for retail business and of course e-commerce business. All right, that's basically finished with WeChat. Any questions so far? No? Great. So the second one I'm going to cover is QQ or Qzone. Qzone is actually the same company, or they're just a sister company of WeChat. They all belong to the same big group, Tencent. So QQ, the main difference between QQ and WeChat is QQ started as an instant messenger. And of course, you can do a lot of similar things. You can chat with your friends. You can having friends updates. You can even have a QQ wallet or playing games too. It looks very similar to WeChat, but the main difference I would say is the user profile. WeChat probably is for everybody. And QQ, yeah, it's for everybody too. But usually young guys or kids spend more time on QQ. However, WeChat can be used for everybody. And one is for kids, because of their gaming is very, very good. And second is for the, we said tier 3, actually tier 4, tier 3, tier 4 city or even countryside, people tend to use QQ because it's been there too long, probably since 1999. So QQ has a long history there. So anyway, in this case, QQ might be more suitable for, definitely not suitable for international brands if you don't want to touch those. I mean, obviously kids don't have much money, and same thing goes to tier 3 or tier 4 cities. People, they are not so, they don't have such great spending power like a tier 1 city or tier 2 cities. But the number is great, you can see. It's nearly also 900 million as well. And QZone is basically an extension of QQ. So they can do blogs, sending photos, listening to music, etc. And the usage is also very high. And most important thing is they all managed by the same ad platform because they belong to the same group. So once you're setting up a Tencent advertising account, you can bid your ads not only on WeChat, but also you can target the QQzone user as well. So it is very good way to manage your ads of different platforms in one place. That's why I put it just next to WeChat, because they're very much relevant. Yeah, you can do video ads, you can do images, you can have good banner ads. You can promote more like a dynamic graphs, or what we call it, the GIFs ads. Again, you can target your dynamic ads targeting your friends. Basically, the ads is mixed with your friends' updates. You can also have it on more like a banner ads on the right side of individual's interface. All right, it's quite similar, so I won't spend too much time just explain the difference between WeChat and QQ. The next major one we're going to cover is Weibo. Well, just like any other social media, it has a lot of similar function. You can do blogs, short blogs or long blogs. You can do video, you can broadcast into yourself. Okay, just some of the KOL, they broadcast their daily life. And of course, you can promote your products. You can do a survey. You can promote games. A lot of other things you can do, just like other social media. And the user base, it's smaller compared to WeChat or QQ. It has 340 million active users, monthly active users. But it's still not bad. Well, you might ask, what's the main difference between them? What's the main difference between WeChat and Weibo? Well, the first thing is Weibo is like Facebook. You can find anybody you want if they are on Weibo. But WeChat, it's going to be difficult. You can only outreach the person you know. Basically, there are more privacy on WeChat, but less on Weibo. That's one. Second, Weibo is very transparent about their data. You can get a lot of data, including hashtag data. You can get brand mentioning data. So if you want to check your brand, how many people actually searching us on Weibo? How many are actually mentioning the brand on Weibo? You can all get it, but on WeChat you don't. So that's another reason we suggest clients setting up Weibo besides setting up a WeChat, because there's a lot of data you can get. The third difference is WeChat, Weibo, because it's transparent, there's more data can be shared. So it's easy to find what we call the trending news. All right. So every day, if you log into your Weibo account, on the right side there is a trending news. But if you log into your WeChat account, there's no such thing. So for brands, you want your brand's name somehow appear on the trending news, right? Of course, in a positive way, not a PR disaster. Okay, so that's the third thing that makes Weibo different from WeChat. So the main reason people go to Weibo is they are trying to get the breaking news, hot topics. Okay, well, these are just normal metrics to measure their performance or their user group, whether they're active or not. Okay, people are happy to pay for Weibo service now. We said, back 10, 15 years ago, China is it's a very bad place for. They don't respect intellectual property. Software is okay. People just use it without paying license. Piracy is horrible. But in the last 3 years, this has been changed a lot. People are happy to pay to read. Premium account, people are happy to pay for that. So that's also happening on Weibo. Some of the experts, if you want to read their Weibo content, you can pay to subscribe their content. And also some of the KOL, again, influencer, you can actually, if you want to make your KOL, if you want to make the person you love so much, you want to make him happy, you can send the gifts, which cost, 200 yuan just to make them happy. So there's a lot of virtual products. People are happy to pay for that. That's not only on Weibo, but also WeChat too, and a couple of other platforms. So what kind of content interests people on Weibo? Images, articles, short video, GIFs, live video sometimes. And what kind of advertisement people accept on Weibo? Well, what they said, the survey shows that as long as the brand I like or the products like, I don't mind if they're real, what we call 100% advertising, or it's an advertorial, or it's a interactive campaign. You like us to get something, or it's a product recommended by the celebrities. There's the different kinds of promotion. People are happy to accept it as long as they like the brands.
But what about the Italian companies and the advertisement.
Mhm.
Is it possible for Italian companies in Weibo?
Yes, of course, you can be on Weibo. I'm coming to that, whether Italian company is allowed to advertise. All right. So advertising, Weibo advertising. How to start a Weibo advertising? First, you need to get a company account. All right. Again, it comes to company. Okay, do you have a China branch? If not, okay, you probably get an account, but it's not verified. If it's not verified, you cannot advertise. That sounds bad, right? But is there a solution? Yes, there's a solution. I'm going to show you, just jump here. So this is the ad format you can have. The standard format is called a Weibo Superfan Tone. So if you have a verified company account, then you can definitely use this tool, this product to advertise. So you can target certain demographics, geolocation, and also their personal preferences. So it can also use different kinds of ad formats, whether it's banner ads, promoting the Weibo, your Weibo account, or you're promoting specific campaign, or you're promoting a specific marketing program, or just doing a survey, etc. This is the most useful products. But like I said, you need to have a verified account. So what to do? If you don't have a verified account, you can use this. It's called Weibo headline ads. So the headline ads, has its limitation because this is only used to promote a post, a specific post. You see, when we're doing the advertising, we can promote the account, a campaign, but for this case, you can only promote your specific post. All right? But it's not bad, right? If this particular post already covered all the critical information you want to distribute to a customer, that's fine. You can have the post with the text you want to create. If you have the image very well articulated, then that's just like another ad. So what you can do on this kind of ad is you can target, obviously you can target your own fans, which might sound weird. If I already have my own fans, why I'm still retargeting them? Yeah, not all your fans might check their Weibo every day, every hour. So maybe out of your 10,000 fans, only 10% see your post organically. There were another 9,000 didn't see it, so you can retarget them. All right, that's one thing. Second, you can also target certain user groups. If you are promoting your milk powder, targeting young mother, then you can put this tags into it. And most importantly, you can target your competitors' fans. That's very interesting, actually. So if you have a competitor, you find, oh, their fans might be very similar to my fans. I want to target them. Sure, I can do that. Or you know there's one influencer which has millions of followers, and you try to ask them to do a paid post. They said, oh, here is the quote, 100,000 RMB. He said, oh, come on, too expensive. He said, no, non-negotiable. Then what? Yeah, you can retarget their fans too. Just put their account name there. So this is this sounds a limited option for advertising, but still very useful. Like this one, if we are trying to, if you see the below, these are the KOLs. If I want to target, these are all popular KOLs. They have more than 300,000 followers, and we tried to negotiate it with them. They said too expensive. We cannot afford it. Then what? We can do this by targeting their fans. So far, do I answer your question, Mister?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, then Weibo KOL. It's pretty much like a WeChat KOL. The only difference is you can get more data. It's easier to get their data. On WeChat, you can't, unless they tell you. They give you a screenshot of how many fans I have. Then otherwise you couldn't get it. But on Weibo, everything is there. How many fans it has, and what's the engagement here. So everything is there. So it's much easier to measure their influence. Of course, Weibo is actually, the number can be easier to be faked because you can go to Taobao to buy, 10,000 fans. But still, there's lots of number other ways to measure it. Like I said, looking at the comments, these cannot be faked. And also look into the retweets and a couple of other metrics. Okay, how to work with them? Obviously, we don't want to work with a big KOL, which is too expensive. We want to work with a potential KOL. So how do we work with them? Obviously, we need to do a lot of outreach. We need to put certain criteria when we do the search. For example, if I don't know which industry are you from? B2B or B2C? B2B. Okay, B2B, definitely it's much niche area. You need to choose the keywords properly to identify the industry. Then once you find the top 10, you need to negotiate with them one by one. And like I said, you can pay them directly, or you can exchange something. B2B, the interesting part might be if you're having a conference. Okay, why don't you just give 10 tickets for free? In exchange, they can do a post for you. Or some other way of cooperation. All right, that's Weibo. Okay, since you're B2B, you might be more interested. Am I?
Just want to know, we have the break at 11:15, if you can manage it.
Yeah, what's? It's already now?
Yeah, I have still 3 minutes. I don't know if you need to start a new chapter, maybe we shall do it afterwards.
All right, I think I can finish this quickly.
Okay.
We have like 2 more social media, but they're smaller. All right. So the second, since you're B2B, you might be more interested in this particular social media. It's like Quora. So you're familiar with Quora, right? So basically, in Quora, you get a professional answer, and usually their algorithm is always putting the most professional answer on the top, and that's how Zhihu works too. So if we look at the numbers they have, the users, they have what they said is 13 million, which is not even 10% of WeChat, even less than 10% of Weibo. So the number is smaller, but like I said, if you're a B2B, you don't care so much about the number. You're more into the quality, whether they are really your target industry. So yeah, that's also the reason we find there the average on time is quite long, 33 minutes on every person is online there. People online there because they want to get a professional answer or asking a great question, make sure the question is well articulated so people can answer it, provide the correct answer. That's Zhihu. And Douban, it's like I said, it's more for movie, books, music, events. Obviously, the number is higher because this can be anybody. So, but still not as much as what we have on Weibo or WeChat. They have more than 1 million. Oh, sorry, 100 million. So, just a summary. We find the Douban is more for movie critics, writer, travel photographer. If you're somehow into travel business, hotel or tourism board, this is also a good place. Because people, the user on this platform are what they call the middle class or this, anyway, people who tend to be more intellectual than commercial things. And on Zhihu are more for professional who are looking for professional solutions. So we always have the industry experts gathering on this platform. It can be different industry. It can be IT, it can be manufacturing, it can be even mathematics. So that's what also their users are mostly white collar workers or engineers. They always gathering there. Yeah, just a brief discussion with some of you during the break. You mentioned about you may into business of B2B business. So I'm not saying social is not for B2B. Yeah, B2B still you can use social, but B2B companies are more interested in generating sales leads. So that's why the next session will be mostly about search engine. Well, you definitely know what the difference between search engine and social, because when people have a question, they go to Google to find an answer. However, when people have nothing to do, they go to Facebook. Yeah. So if we want to generate leads, we need to make sure we understand search engine very well. And the biggest search engines in China is not Google, it's Baidu and 360. And this is the desktop search engine market share. You can find that Baidu has nearly 60% on desktop. 360 has more than 25%. And on mobile search, Baidu is still dominating, more than 82%. And so come to a conclusion, Baidu is definitely the first choice you should consider if you want to generate leads from search. Obviously, it has 10 billion search query every day, and it has users of 680 million users. And in terms of the daily behavior, obviously during the night, people don't use search anymore. But during the day, you may find during the work hours, people of course tend to use desktop. But after that, it's all about mobile. After work, people use mobile to search. But in terms of the percentage, you can see mobile is actually beating desktop because of more and more adoption of mobile tablets. So yeah, that's kind of the trends we should pay attention to. This might be a little bit too much for you to look, but I would like to focus on the left top that section. So Baidu is definitely the core business is search engine. So it provides search of text, map, video, image search, music search. Yeah, that's the core business, and that's where you can do advertising, of course. And the second big chunk of their business is the content platform. It has a poster bar, that's mostly like a blog section. And it also has Baidu Doc, which is a place people sharing documents, white paper. So it is a great place to do the content distribution. And there are also Baidu Knows, which is a Q&A. You know, people raise questions. For example, what's the best restaurant in Osimo? Then you may get an answer there. Then you can also get a Baidu Experience, which is more like a review. I've been to this restaurant, or I've been to this concert. It's great. So this is an outside search business. So it's a great place for people to do affiliate marketing. So you can do display on this kind of place. Then on the left button, you have the blue box. That's the tools has been developed by Baidu. It has 91 Wireless, which is the business unit they acquired 4 years ago. 91 Wireless, it's a mobile phone assistant, basically help mostly for Android phone. The Android phone, from time to time you need to increase the RAM, make sure the phone runs faster, or you have antivirus. That's the 91 Wireless do. So by acquiring this company, Baidu becomes more stronger on the mobile part. Of course, they also have other tool business, including Baidu Browser, Baidu Cloud, Baidu Video Player, etc. All right, they also have other business which I would say not so doing well, including group buying. They have this business and they sold it, and they also have food delivery business, and then they're selling it now. So I would just not spend too much time talking about it. Of course, they're also doing the unmanned vehicle business, just like Google's driverless car. But it's still in the future. Who knows what might happen? So yeah, these main three business I would be more interested. And that's also where the place you can do advertising. So yeah, in China, Baidu is very strong. Well, the business is also similar to Google. If you understand Google, well, there's still some difference between there. If you go to Google, you can do self-service, meaning you can set up an account, you can put your credit card there, you can start promoting your website very quickly. But on Baidu, it's not like that. You need a lot of documentation, review by Baidu, submitting requests. Even you need to provide your bank account, or actually a bank statement to Baidu. I mean, like, what, really? This is a classified information. I don't want to disclose. Well, they have to, because they want to verify your company, especially overseas company. It's real company. It has financial transaction record there with other companies. Then they feel comfortable to set up account for you. So yeah, this takes some time. And the second, it's on Google we can still do search engine optimization, meaning without advertising you can generate traffic or visitor or sometimes sales leads. But on Baidu, SEO is a little bit difficult. So if you want to get a quick result, then you have to do paid search. Okay, I'm going to just go. So what's the paid search like? obviously there are 4 different sections we can cover. PPC, pay-per-click, which means on search engine results page. You can do that, and also you can do affiliate within Baidu's non-search products. And also you can do what they call the brand promotion, which is totally targeting your brand or branding display. And the last part is the Baidu mobile advertising. So paid search, I'm sure if you do Google AdWords, you know this. It's very standard. You have a title, you have a description, then you have a URL. That's the standard way. But besides this, we can do more. You can get an image there, and also you can have a video there, so that can help you improve the click-through rate. And you can also do what we call the site links. You know site link, right? Basically, if you're on the top, first position of that particular search term, then you can add more links to your inner page. In this case, for example, they're on the top of the search results because they probably have a very high bidding price for that particular keywords. So instead of only having the home page or that particular landing page, they can have other inner pages about the category, about the products, about the pricing. So that definitely can help you drive more traffic to other pages. And of course, CTR will be higher. And you can also promote a coupon if you somehow e-commerce business or restaurant, any other thing, any business related to retail, and promoting particular coupon, asking people to download it or get a digital coupon, that also can be done. All right, that's paid search. And we can do also affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing can be targeted a lot of non-Baidu website, and of course Baidu's non-search products, including what I said about the post bar, Baidu Q&A, Baidu Docs sharing. These are all part of the affiliate marketing part. And since it's not search, it's not keywords oriented, it's more targeting specific user of certain demographics. And so if you do Google, what's the word for it? Affiliate, then you probably know how it works. But I still want to tell the difference between the Google and Baidu for this particular part is on Google you can do remarketing, but you can only retarget people who visit your website, because that's how it works. They visit your website, the cookies are acquired, you can retarget them by show the banner in other Google non-Google website. But Baidu can do more than that. Besides retarget those visitor your website, they can also retarget visitor who searched on the keywords you bid, but didn't click on your ads. They click on your competitor's ads. You can retarget them. Yeah, that's, again, sounds very similar to what we just talked about on Weibo ads. So this is could be a good way to get your potential customer. That's a good solution in this case. All right, that's affiliate. Then we have a brand promotion. Usually on Google, you don't need to bid for your brand terms. Do you spend money on your brand terms on Google? Yes? All right. Okay, then I don't need to explain this. But on Baidu, it is very, very, I wouldn't say bad, but companies do spend a lot of money on brand terms in China. Main reason is it is allowed for a company to bid for your competitors' terms. So if you don't want your competitor getting a lot of your potential customer, you need to spend more money on your brand terms. That's what happened. You see this, this is called a brand zone, which is a very big area. You can take the whole screen belong to your brand zone. On the brand zone, of course, you can do the link to your website homepage. You can also put in your video there. You can do a lot of site links to your inner pages. So anyway, try to protect yourself, your brand area, by adding a lot of information. But obviously, this is not cheap. Usually started like $1 million a year to protect your brand zone. Of course, certain industry might be lower because, again, it is bidding. So usually consuming brand is quite expensive. Okay, you can also do brand card, which is a slightly cheaper option. And yeah, that's the brand part. If you want to protect your brand, or use more vivid way to show than text link. That's you can use brand zone or brand card. Then we come to the mobile part. And the mobile part, it's obviously it started about 6 years ago. At that moment, mobile is quite new. So the CPC is low. Cost per click probably is only 10 or 15% of what you paid on desktop. But now it's nearly the same. In certain industries, even higher, the cost per click on mobile search. So yeah, obviously, if you want to optimize for your mobile search, of course, make sure your website is mobile friendly. You don't want people click on it and find out there's no way it's not user friendly. I need to adjust the width of the screen. That's definitely not good. Besides that, there's a lot of other options you can optimize. First, you should put a phone number people can just call from the screen. And if you're using online chatting tool or what they call the callback, basically some of them, they prefer not spending money, call the advertiser. So what you can do is you type in your phone number, they can call you back with this particular callback software. And also you can link it with your location, where of course you already marked on the Baidu map. So if they are looking for a location, then that can be easily connected with your mobile map. And there are also some other widgets you can develop. So company like an insurance company, they are, if their website is not as mobile optimized, they can build on widgets. For example, they develop the widgets where they can calculate how much they should pay to insure their car for a year. That all can be done within the mobile widgets they can develop. All right, that's for the Baidu part. Yeah, Baidu mobile user, it's really getting higher and higher. Okay, the secondary search engine is called 360. it has more than 25% market share on PC. On mobile, it's not that great, but it's still less than 10%, but it's still something you shouldn't neglect. It has 300 million daily searches. And their advertising products include text link, of course. They have a close neighbor, which is mainly show your ads next to the relevant search. Then you have one box and a brand express. This is a typical text link. It's similar like Baidu or Google's search. Then you have what they call the close neighbor, which is you have a recommended on the right side, the ads. Then you have the one box. Please note that the one box is not appear on the top. It's actually in the middle. After you have two or three organic listing, then you have a one box, which is actually ad. And because it's used images plus text, the click-through rate is much higher. So this is something advertisers should pay attention to. It's cheaper, CPC is cheaper, CTR is higher. Brand Express is similar to Baidu's Brand Zone. Well, the only difference is cheaper compared to Baidu. The average CPC of 360 is probably around 30 to 40% of Baidu is charging around. But there's some difference I need to tell you about the users of 360 and the Baidu. If you're a B2B company, forget 360. Because 360 users are usually not internet savvy. The main reason they use 360 because they used their free antivirus. When they use their free antivirus, they also use their free their browser, and all the search is their search engine is default 360. So you can imagine those users are not internet savvy. So if you're a B2B company, just focus on Baidu. It's good enough. But however, if you're B2C company, fashion or cosmetics or e-commerce, well, 360 is a good choice because those 360 users, generally a lot of them are women. They're happy to spend more money on e-commerce, but they're not internet savvy or technology savvy in this case. All right, that's for search. Any question? Okay. Let's move to the next session. Is e-commerce. So if for company, if they somehow have an interest to develop e-commerce area, they definitely shouldn't neglect China. China obviously the biggest e-commerce market since 2014. By that time, they are already the number one. Their annual sales is $426 billion US dollars. Now it's even bigger. And the main e-commerce players in China, including JD.com, of course, Taobao or Tmall, and there are VIP and also Jumei. However, for companies which are outside China, they're more interested in the cross-border e-commerce. When I say cross-border e-commerce, meaning for companies which have no China branch, which have no China warehouse, there's no person in China to handle the custom clearance and paying the tariff, then they should pay attention to JD.com. Because this is a company that is providing a lot of great solutions. Not only the having the store set up, but also the large backend, including logistics, warehousing, custom clearance, customer service, refund, or return the products. All these things can be done by JD. All right, JD it's quite huge. It distributes their products or its merchant products through a lot of channels. First, it distributes their products through their website, and of course their application, mobile application. It also distributes the products through WeChat. If you go to WeChat, go to purchase or shopping, the only access is to JD. And you go to QQ, you go to shopping, again you go to JD. And also there's what they call the JD micro store, or Weidian, is also supplied by JD as well. So you can imagine that it has a lot of places that you can distribute the products. That's the front end. And the back end is you need the logistics, warehousing, and products delivery to the home. And all this can be done by JD. It has a warehouse not only in the city, but also in the FDZ. You know FDZ, right? It's a free trade zone. Obviously in Shanghai, it has a Pudong, it has a free trade zone. In Shenzhen, it has a Shanghai free trade zone, and in Guangzhou, it has Nansha. And the number is growing. And the free trade zone, the area is, the good thing is for company, again, you don't want to pay tariff if the customer hasn't bought your products. So the free FTZ, the good thing is you can put your products as a consignment in the free trade zone. You only pay the tariff when the customer ordered from the e-commerce shop. So by that time, the delivery guy will take the products and leave the FTZ, then you pay the tariff. So that's the good thing about the FTZ. And of course, JD has their warehousing in all the FTZ. So the cross-border e-commerce is growing very aggressively. In 2008, when it started, it's only 4% of the total e-commerce. Now it has more than 14% are cross-border. And people are buying products from cross-border e-commerce are mostly personal care, cosmetics, baby products, and watch, jewelry, packaged food, healthcare, mostly products they couldn't find in China, or they feel the China produced products it's inferior in quality in that case. So they tend to get cross-border or imported products. And on JD, you can set up a store of particular country. They have this annual sales every year. They have pavilion of different country. You can find Italian pavilion. That's a lot of Italian brands have their store there. Well, the next question you might ask is, how can I get there? Can I have a store on the Italian pavilion? Well, it depends. There are two options. You can choose the shopping mall option or supermarket option. Shopping mall option meaning you will have a dedicated store. You can brand it with all your brand information, text or even video, brand history, and of course the products index pages. But if you don't have company registered in China, then now you cannot. So what you can do then, you can choose supermarket, which is your products will be distributed by JD. And JD will say, hey, all the products is owned and managed or selected by JD. So quality you can trust. It is original brand. So in this case, you can still sell the products. And that how the process look like. You are overseas in Italy. And this is JD worldwide. Okay, when I say JD worldwide, it means this is the business unit they're handling cross-border business. They call it JD worldwide. So JD worldwide is providing marketing support, which means you can have a store. They can do advertising for you, drive traffic to you, not only within JD.com, but also from places outside JD, for example, from Baidu, from WeChat or QQ. They have added inventory on those big publishers. Then they provide data analysis, of course, technical support, meaning payment gates. They provide JD Pay or WeChat Pay. And in the middle, they have the JD partner provide a lot other support, including the warehousing, logistics, delivery, customer service, because Chinese customers tend to chat with you about, okay, can you lower the price? So there are also JD partner provide customer service or chatting here. Okay, so how do you ship your products there? There are different stages. At the beginning, you might do it in a small way, which means you're not sure how many you can sell. So you don't want to send a whole container of products and rent a big warehouse. So what you can do is, let's do it one by one. So you have the store there, or you have already signed a contract with JD to distribute your products, and you have an order, let's say 10 orders a day, per day, then you can send out products by small parcels from Italy. So by doing this, you can somehow minimum the risk if you don't sell well. But the downside is it takes longer for the customer to receive your products, because DHL or UPS just take a longer time. However, if you somehow already have, you feel more confidence about China market, you can send the whole container to JD's warehouse in China, in FTZ. Then that could be much faster, because whenever a customer ordered on JD, the products can be delivered within 3 days. Because it's already in China. The only difference is they need to clear the custom. Or you can have what they call the bonded warehouse in bulk, which is just a bigger volume. So the bonded warehouse they already have is in Hangzhou, Guangzhou, Zhengzhou, Ningbo, and there are others pending, under construction. Direct mail is supporting only Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou now. These are the brands already launched on JD worldwide. So the next is, can I get a shop there? You might ask this. What it requires to set up a JD shop? So first, you can be either a brand. If you're the brand or manufacturer, you can definitely do that. All you need to do is to provide the documentation to prove that. Or you are a retailer. So if you're a retailer representing, 100 different brands, yeah, you can do that too, as long as you provide documentation that you are distributing those products. Or you are a well-known e-commerce platform. Let's say, the French e-commerce company called Auchan. Is it Auchan? they are also having a JD store too. Or you have a China team. I mean, this could be not relevant. But anyway, these three are mostly covering the situation for Italian company. And you need to select what kind of store you might be. It can be a flagship store or outlet or a franchise store. Okay, franchise store usually it's applied to distributor, not the brand themselves. Or exclusive store, that's also a kind of franchise store, but only it's the exclusive franchisee in China. So how do they charge? Not cheap. Setting up a shop, you need to have a deposit of $50,000 US. Down payment, of course, it can be refunded. This is all go to JD. And they have an annual service fee, which is $1,000 US. Then they also charge commission fee. So each transaction you make, they charge 2 to 8%, depending on the volume, or depends on the industry or product category. Tmall is similar. Of course, Tmall is also huge. It has a 34 million active users. And the brands is also on Tmall a lot. Well, one thing you need to pay attention to is there's Tmall.com, there's Tmall Global. Tmall Global is like JD Worldwide, only handling cross-border business. So Italian company, if they want to distribute on Tmall or JD, they should go to Tmall Global or JD Worldwide, because those are the right business units that are handling overseas brands. Yeah, pay attention to it. On Tmall, it's the same. You can see on Tmall.com, mostly domestically made products. And on Tmall Global, the products made in are different, because you can see a lot of beauty products or baby care products. Obviously, people go to Tmall Global, they're looking for something they couldn't get within China. So Tmall has a very famous shopping day called a Single Day, which is held on November 11th. And this is a crazy shopping day. On one single day, they can generate 100 billion sales. So as a business brand owner, you're on the top. In the middle, there are JD platform, which is supported payments, IT infrastructure, promotional tool, data analysis, and on the bottom they have their Tmall partner that provide store maintenance, content, day-to-day operation, customer service, and logistics, etc.